Here's my Security News Roundup for the week ending July 28th, 2023. New Open SSH vulnerability exposes Linux systems to remote command injection. Details have emerged about a non-patched flaw in Open SSH that could be potentially exploited to run arbitrary commands remotely on compromised hosts under specific conditions. This vulnerability allows a remote attacker to potentially execute arbitrary commands on vulnerable Open SSH's forwarded SSH agents. Saeed Abbasi, manager of vulnerability research at Qualys, said in an analysis last week. The cybersecurity firm said it was able to devise a successful proof of concept against default installations of Ubuntu Desktop 22.04 and 21.10, although other Linux distributions are expected to be vulnerable as well. Read more at thehackernews.com. Apple threatens to pull iMessage and FaceTime from UK amid surveillance demands. The development, first reported by BBC News, makes the iPhone maker the latest to join the chorus of voices protesting against forthcoming legislative changes to the Investigatory Powers Act in a manner that would effectively render encryption protection ineffective. Apple told the British broadcaster that such a provision would constitute a serious and direct threat to data security and information privacy. Earlier this April, several messaging apps that currently offer encrypted chats, such as Element, Signal, Threema, Viber, Meta-owned WhatsApp, and Wire, published an open letter urging the UK government to rethink its approach and encourage companies to offer more privacy and security to its residents. Read more at thehackernews.com. 3 tax prep firms shared extraordinarily sensitive data about taxpayers with Meta, lawmakers say. 3 large tax preparation firms sent extraordinarily sensitive information on tens of millions of taxpayers to Facebook parent company Meta over the course of at least 2 years, a group of congressional Democrats reported on Wednesday. They say some of that data was then used by Meta to create targeted advertising to its own users, other companies, and to train Meta's algorithms. The Democrats' report urges federal agencies to investigate and potentially go to court over the wealth of information that H&R Block Tax Act tax slayer shared with the social media giant. I'd like to know who requested the collection of this data. Read more at apnews.com. New AI tool Fraud GPT emerges, tailored for sophisticated attacks. Following the footsteps of Worm GPT, threat actors are advertising yet another cybercrime generative artificial intelligence tool dubbed Fraud GPT on various dark web marketplaces and Telegram channels. This is an AI bot exclusively targeted for offensive purposes, such as crafting spear-phishing emails, creating cracking tools, carding, etc. NetEnrich security researcher Rakesh Krishnan said in a report published Tuesday. The cybersecurity firm said the offering has been circulating since at least July 22, 2023, for a subscription cost of $200 a month, or $1,000 for 6 months and $1,700 for a year. Read more at thehackernews.com. Deposit files expose config file jeopardizing user security. Deposit Files, a popular web hosting service, left its environment configuration file accessible, revealing a trove of highly sensitive credentials. Deposit File, a service boasting that it's the perfect place to keep your precious files in safety and share them, does not alleviate those concerns. The Cyber News research team discovered Deposit File's publicly hosted environment configuration file, a crucial record of how to run software. Environment configuration file exposed a treasure trove of information. The extent of potential attacks against the service and its users is profoundly significant. Deposit File's clients are at risk of their personally identifiable information, files, and passwords being stolen. Attackers could also target the company with malware, ransomware, unauthorized access to business payment systems, etc., researchers said. Read more at cybernews.com. New SEC rules require U.S. companies to reveal cyber attacks within 4 days. Whether a company loses a factory in a fire or millions of files in a cybersecurity incident, it may be material to investors, SEC Chair Gary Gensler said. Currently, many public companies provide cybersecurity disclosure to investors. I think companies and investors alike, however, would benefit if this disclosure were made in a more consistent, comparable, and decision-useful way. To that end, the new obligations mandate that companies reveal the incident's nature, scope, and timing, as well as its impact. This disclosure, however, may be delayed by an additional period of up to 60 days should it be determined that giving out such specifics would pose a substantial risk to national security or public safety. Read more at thehackernews.com. Or Elon Musk, X equals everything. Musk wants to turn Twitter into an everything app. The utility of X as a super app does make some sense. It would be handy to have one single app in the US where you could read about anything going on in the world, message your friends to hang out, get some money from the bank, book a reservation at a restaurant, and then hail a car to get back home. I'm sure Musk would want it to be a Tesla robotaxi. Read more at theverge.com. This week's must-see on my YouTube channel. Phishing scams are like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Don't let the scammer take a bite out of you. Don't get hooked. How to spot Amazon phishing scams. Please watch my video on that topic by following the link listed. Did you know there are about 7 octillion atoms in a human body? Bees sense a flower's electric field and use it to find pollen. The sun makes up more than 99% of the mass of the solar system. Value those people who tell you the truth, not just those people who tell you what you want to hear. Thanks to Pat Summit for that. Just thought you might want to know. And that's a wrap for this week's Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye, and thanks for watching and listening.